Nothing here to see, just a kid like me, trying to cut some teeth, trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm here trying to figure it out. Getting hard to sleep, blood is in my dreams. Love is killing me, trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm still in here trying to figure it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest show on earth, the TSR Speed Shop Podcast, with your host, the often imitated but never duplicated, the Ayatollah of the radio controller, Tim Smith.
I let it go, cause I won't see you later when we're not allowed to talk it out. I said I'd go, put myself on the show, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I broke my shoe, took the flat on you, but you didn't know I planned it out. I said I'd go, yeah, I won't see you later when we're not allowed to figure it out.
Welcome to the TSR Speed Shop RC Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Smith. Hey, is Colin. I was trying to think of a name for you today, Colin Branch. I was going to call you the one and only. I was going to call you I started thinking I'd call you my side piece, Colin Branch.
Oh,
well,
yeah, please don't do that.
We spent a lot of time shoulder to shoulder. My friend.
No, Colin Branch is fine.
You just stick with Colin? The one and only, my side piece, Colin Branch. And this is the TSR Speed Shop RC Podcast. We're back to give you another exciting RC podcast. Quality, quality, quality. That's what we try for. We strive, don't we?
Yeah. If we have to skip a week because we don't have a whole lot to talk about, we will, because then it's not a quality podcast.
Yeah. Why didn't we do it last week? Oh, I know why. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay, a couple of things.
I know why.
So yeah, I'm going to tell. Okay, so we are going to talk about that in just a second. But I do want to, before we dig into this show, I do want to give a shout out. I guess a shout out. That's the worst way to put it. Hey, high five to my beautiful bride of 20 years. 20 years, dude. The same chick.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
That's longer than I've been with any chick.
Dude. I mean, we've been through all kinds of crazy shit, you know? We could do a million shows on that, on the weird shit that we've both been through together. So, yeah, it ain't easy, kids, let me tell you that. There were some times where it was really hard, and there were some times where it was better than you ever could imagine life being, you know? Like, what the fuck? But whatever, man, 20 years of that girl.
And then there's the jalapenos.
There's the jalapeno stories. There's many stories like the jalapeno story out there. I'm sure there are. But for my girl, I surprised her. This was kind of funny, dude, because I'm bad about dates, right? I'm just bad about them. I mean, I can say I'm a guy, and I don't know what it is, because some stuff I can, and she hates that because she's like, I know some stuff you remember crazy details about things, but you can't remember our anniversary or birthdays, and like, you're always a mess, always. And it's true. I don't know why. I don't know what is wrong with my mind, why those dates I can't get in there. Well, 20 years into this mess, and also I have to thank Sandy Christie, Kyle's beautiful wife, because she loves to keep me up to date on what she's like a handler for me. She keeps me in line what I need to know. She's like, it's coming, although she was off last month, but we had a plan together that we were going to pay attention to this date, She wasn't going to let it slide by.
She's so awesome.
She is so awesome. And so I was really on top of it. And so it's our date was the 29th, by the way, of last month now.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And so I get up on the 28th on Tuesday, and I come into the living room where I come every morning. We sit and we have a little coffee together in the dark room with just a little bit of light on. or a candle or something, hang out, have a little coffee, chit chat for a few minutes before I take off for the day. It's kind of how it goes, see what she's going to do. She knows what I'm going to do. And that's it. And I come out and I sit down and there's like a package, like a gift bag sitting on the table. And I kind of look at her and she's like, "Happy anniversary, babe." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Honey, it's not our anniversary." Well, I had to think about it because I thought, dude, I can't be wrong. I've been working so hard for this date. Because once I tell you what I got her, you're going to see that I'd really, really planned this,
I knew ahead of time.
And you knew too. Yeah, you knew too. So she says that and I'm like, but there was a hesitation in me for sure. I'm like, oh my God, am I on the wrong day? But I go, baby, it's tomorrow. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot. And all I thought to myself was, oh my God, dude, I just won. For every guy out there in the world, this was our moment. It happened for me. I was totally right. And I even told her, and she was like, wow. I go, I can't believe it. That was like a gift in itself, what you just gave me. I mean, you don't even know. For me to be right about our anniversary date and you be wrong, oh my gosh. I mean, I can never use it. It's not like I can do anything with it. I mean, she'll never let me even, try it again like some other time. Like, remember that time? No. Because
she'll bring up the
she'll list off
other times.
Right. The 19 other anniversaries that I blew apart. Right. Exactly. So no. But for me inside and for all men out there like me, and I know there's a bunch of us out there, this was our moment, dude. And believe me, it felt so good to be right for once. Oh my God, it felt so good. And so she says this and I go, well, I don't have it. I don't have the card with me because I was gonna print this special little card out for her and bring it tomorrow on her anniversary and give it to her. I go, but I'll show you the pictures of what it is. And what I did was I bought us a vacation in Hawaii. So we're flying out first class from San Diego to Maui, Hawaii, and we're staying in a really small place. It's literally there's a rock wall. And the waves are right there. Like you're at that water right there. And you walk down a little bit and there's the beach. And so it's just as much on the water as it can be. Just a little tiny place for us to hang out with, even like a kitchen. I guess it's like a little apartment, but there's a few of them. So I don't know what they call them there. Must have a name. I don't know. But so we're going to go do that. I rented us a convertible because, we're in Hawaii. Shouldn't we have a convertible?
Yeah.
And so it should be a bang up time. And so that's happening in just, it's going to happen on the 14th, I believe. So we're only like 9 days out, a week out, roughly a little over a week out. So I'll be out of here for a little bit, checking out and checking in. Now, on to the crazy part of this whole adventure for you and me, Colin, and myself. And as you guys all know, we test a lot with Kyle and Riley and Sandy Christie down there in San Diego. Well, the weekend that Colin came out and won.
Woohoo! I got one.
Heartless, this guy. Heartless. No, just kidding. I'm happy for him. I don't care. Because mine's coming somewhere. I guess.
Yours is coming.
Anyways, so he comes out for the weekend. So we spend the weekend at the race together. The five of us, I guess. And then that's all day Saturday. And then Sunday we all show up again early. Except for my man over here, Kyle, actually stayed with Christie's because they were nice enough to house him.
Who stayed with the Christie's?
Didn't you?
Yeah, my name's not Kyle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Colin stayed with. I was thinking Kyle. He stayed with Kyle Christie. Colin stayed there with them, and then we tested all day Sunday, and all that, and then all went home. Well, as things are in this day and age, one of us, Kyle, popped up. What day was it? Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday.
I think it was Tuesday. No, maybe it was Wednesday.
Maybe it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. Yep.
Yeah, because
definitely Wednesday.
Because it was after I told my wife about the thing. It was like that day or whatever.
Yep, it was Wednesday.
So yeah, I get a text message from Kyle at about 11 o'clock or something, 11:30 or about around then, because I was like eating lunch, and he texted me. He's like, "Dude, I'm positive," and we all know what that means. I'm like, "Oh shit, shit," because dude, we were around you. We were elbow to elbow. We hugged and stuff. It was a great weekend.
I stayed at their house and was in their hot tub.
Yeah, so we were like,
drove in their vehicles.
Yep. And so went into emergency mode in my world. Like, I threw a mask on. I told the guy working with him, like, dude, I'm out of here. I grabbed my monitors, all my shit, pulled off my desk and bailed as fast as I could get out of the building. Because I thought
the same thing.
Yep.
Noon on Wednesday, I was out.
Yep. And so all of our worlds. I mean, Kyle was getting sick. And and Sandy and Riley were worried about them too. We don't know what's going on, and we're all freaking out. Me and Colin, dude, we're texting each other, and I'm like, "How are you?" And he's like, "I don't know. I kind of think I got it." I'm like, "I know, me too." Every minute I think something happened. I got it. That's it. I got it. Right? That's it. Holy shit! I'm smelling everything.
I got it.
I know. I had sniffles. I had everything. I'm checking my temperature every minute. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? And so as it came up, Kyle ended up getting it. Sandy ended up getting it. Riley ended up getting it. So 3 out of the 5 of us.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, oh, shit.
Yep. And so you went down and got tested.
I got tested, yep.
Yeah, I was already out. Now, I didn't get tested. I didn't go do a test like that, like a regular test, because, and I'll say this, I don't know if I should say this, but I guess I should, because I was already in the process of getting my shots. I'd already had my first shot, and I was literally getting my shot like 8 or 10 days from then. I don't even remember what it was now. Probably 10 days, because it was on the 30th. So, I don't know what it was. And so I didn't want to take a test because they ask you that if you've taken a test, and they want to know why. Were you no, I just want to play it out. If I didn't have any symptoms, then I'm going to get my second shot because I want to get this thing done. Like, let's be done with this bullshit.
Yeah. I had mine done earlier in the summer, like really early.
Yeah, my wife did too, and I just had put it off. I didn't really care either way. But when I started seeing people around me get very sick that didn't, I mean, I saw people that had the shot get sick and whatever. I don't want to get into a long thing about that. But anyways, they all got sick. Kyle got pretty sick. Like, he's been sick for a couple of weeks, and we're hoping maybe in the next week or so we can get back out and test, so we want him healthy and good. But because of that, and because, dude, they're my ride or die. Like, that's who I race with now. All the races we were planning to go to, because we were going to go to races like now, like every weekend, pretty much up till now through when I come back from Hawaii. We were going to go to Vegas. So I think all that's pretty up in the air right now. Probably a no, I would say, and maybe Vegas, maybe we'll see how it goes by that point.
I pulled out of Vegas.
Did you end up pulling out? Yeah. Because I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that he's going to need more time, and we all, it's just. Yeah, too much is happening.
The thing about the Vegas
we had a bunch of good races.
There's
in a row.
Big, the big music festival, the electronic music festival, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the rooms were expensive,
crazy expensive.
Yeah, that was
no rental cars, and that at that point I was just like, I can't.
Yeah, it became too hard. I know. That's why I was thinking I would just literally drive in. I mean, it's 4.5, 5 hours for me, something like that, 4 hours. But I thought, man, maybe I'll just drive it. I'll just get up early, get there, race. If I don't go a bunch of rounds, no problem. If I go a bunch of rounds, I'll be exhausted. I mean, what can you do? So I don't think that one's going to happen for us either. So that's kind of what I know that we hadn't really, I don't think we had all talked about it much. Just we kept pulling out of races and things. We hadn't been doing much testing, and everything, for us kind of stopped right now. So that's why. So keep them in your prayers. Reach out to Kyle and them. Tell them you're thinking about him. He is getting better. He's not in the hospital, something like that right now. So
exactly. Kyle's gradually, very slowly starting to feel better.
Right. He even did I know he did a work meeting the other day, because you and I both I've been working from home for the last, I just went back today. Was my first day back.
Oh yeah.
In the office, yeah, officially, yeah. So it was.
I got my negative test, so I went back the next work day after my negative test.
I just took all the days working home because it was just easier. It was nice to hang out with her after the just whatever. I don't know. It was cool. So, but I'm glad to be back there. Whew. So, hey, welcome to the TSR Speed Shop RC podcast, not the COVID podcast. So that's where we've been. That's where our racing's been and all that. So, whew, it's been quite a trip. But we're on the outside of it now. Like I feel like it. Like, we're on the backside now. You know, we just got to get Kyle healthy and everybody back up to speed, and then we'll be right back at it, doing our thing.
Can't wait.
Crazy. This stupid thing is crazy. So, how much time we got? Because we didn't even talk about the show tonight.
Right, we better do a preview of the show.
We haven't even talked about it. Tonight, we have Frank Ulbrich on. We've been planning to have Frank on for a little bit of time. And it just, I don't know, schedules, everything else, you know, how it is with us in our world. And we've had him booked on this show for several weeks, like waiting to get to him. We had other stuff. I've had, this is where it's become a little bit of a problem, dude, because we have a lot of people we want to have on and talk to, but then a race happens and I want to have the guy on that wins or whatever, somebody that was, you know, first or second, whatever. You know what I mean? On, tell me about the race. Tell me about your day. It's, you know, that to me is, I don't know, it's enjoyable to hear about the difficulties they went through and how they just, you know, things fell into place. And it's always kind of the same story, but it's fun. And so I want to have those people on too, but we have so many races and I'm trying to book, you know, people on. Mark Vine hit me up like a week or two ago and he's like, dude, I want to come on as soon as possible. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Are you mad? He's like, no, it's all good stuff. I'm like, all right. Okay, so I'm trying to get him in here too. And so that means that, you know, like there was a race this last weekend. I guess I can talk about that real quick. I haven't news, but there was a race this last weekend. The CKNP East Coast Shootout. Yeah, East Coast Shootout. I know it was that. Rodney Centers won both Outlaw and 13.5. I know he runs DRKs.
Yes, sir.
I see Rodney on the intranet. And he's fast, man. He's a fast dude. There's a whole bunch of dudes that are fast now. It's so fucking killer to see.
It's awesome. They're so close. There's so many.
Yeah, so he had a great race. I did talk to him this week, and he actually gave me, dude, let me find it. He gave me everything that he ran. I tried to get a rundown of the last like 3 rounds, but I was told, the guy who was going to give it to me told me that there was a problem and somehow it all got deleted. They didn't have all those. I'm like, oh man, that's too bad, because I really wanted to kind of just run down the whole realm of how people finished and everything, you know, ETs they ran, and see how many of them were whole shot wins and all that. So that was too bad. But if anybody does have that information, please forward it to me. I'd love to talk about it, because I'm sure it was cool, because there were a lot of super fast cars. This track is fast. I follow this group on. Did
you see the road, the pictures and the video of the road?
Yeah.
Man, it looked amazing.
Yeah, 1/8s are not an uncommon number at this track. And not many roads, if any, out there that I'm aware of can really tout that kind of thing. Now, I don't know if it's sticky on the road itself, too. I heard mention maybe it was, but maybe Frank will tell us all about that. I don't have to even him and Ha. But anyways, Rodney Centers won. And so here it is from the ground up. Ready?
Yep.
This is what he ran. Gold Voodoos, got launch sauce, and they're on the Pro Line big wheels with air.
Cool.
He's even got 80 milligrams. I mean, he's using like a CPR thing, like 80. That's about what I run to. 75 to 80. So that's about right.
I need to get on that program. My little digital.
Yeah, they're not as accurate. It's easier to get better. Yeah, I've gotten better at these. Now you just find your number and then you're there. And it seems like this. If you're using one of these heart, what is it called? It's got a name on it. Type of meter. It does not that I can see. But it's for blood pressure. It's one of those blood pressure meters. But yeah,
you'll have to send me links and all that shit.
It's funny too, because 80 is where it turns red on mine, and that's like right about where I like it to be. Right where it turns red. That's where the tires are.
Do you know what 80 is PSI?
I think it's about 1.25 pounds.
Okay, perfect.
Pound to 1.25 pounds, if I had to guess.
Yep, 1.3 is like where I like mine.
Right. So, if I had to guess, that's what I would think. So, let's see. His chassis was his own design, which that's kick-ass.
Wow, that's awesome.
Less than 2 weeks of testing on it. The transmission's a Losi 22S. It's a rear motor. It's a rear motor.
Whoa.
With upgraded internals. I don't know if that means he runs it forward, but it doesn't sound like it. The front suspension uses a billet front bulk and shock tower. Rear shocks have 2K oil with 8-pound springs. Fronts have 8-weight and Losi blues. Wheelie bar is solid. Mm-hmm. Uses cut Trexus wheels and O-rings. Oh, on the rear on his wheelie bar. His motor is a Trinity 3.0 that he built himself, and the speed control is a DRK with dual caps and 10-gauge wire, and his radio is a Futaba 4 PM, and of course he's running the best battery you can run, the Max Amps 6300 milliamp brick. So there you go, kids. That is exactly what Rodney is running. Eat that. Look at that. I just asked the guy, I'm like, hey, man, would you care to share, a little bit about what you ran? Like, I'll talk about it. And he's like, yeah, sure, here. Like, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, kick-ass, Rodney.
So many of these guys would just share whatever.
Yeah, man. They want you to go fast in a race, too. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got your ship figured out and you're going laps, you want other people to be fast. That's a good time. It's a good time racing fast people, So that, and he won 13.5. We didn't get into what his car was. Probably something near that. Maybe. I don't know. reach out to Rodney. Probably tell you. Rodney Centers.
Yeah. I think he was running 2.4s with his 13.5.
Fast.
If I remember correctly.
Fast tamales, baby.
Yeah. And a Proline Corvette body on his Outlaw car.
That's correct. He did. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, again, Rodney Centers, congratulations, my friend. Runner-up to him was our own Chris Gilliland.
Yep.
Did I say it right, Gilliland? Yeah,
Gilliland.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Chris is a good dude.
Another TLR. It was TLR top 2.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Huh.
Yeah,
there's something to that.
He's been, this guy, Chris, man, he's been getting sneaky. I don't want to say sneaky fast because I've seen it, so it's not been sneaky.
It's not sneaky, no. He's been fast a long time.
I've been watching him, yeah, it just seems like it takes time to get that whole program clicking, Yep.
Yep.
I'm the child preacher of that. But yeah, he was due for a win, and he's still due, but getting second place is kind of, I don't know, in this, as difficult as these races are and the fields are anymore, you finish in the top 3, you got to really feel like, man, I've really accomplished something massive here. That's
almost like a win.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, when you and I raced and got to the finals, 30, that's a lot of fucking people. You race a lot of people in a day. Like, in the old days of Pro Stock, I mean, we only had, at the most you had was 16, the most ever. So to have twice that, it's like, holy shit. You're just charging and cleaning and recharging and cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you got people coming and asking questions and stuff. And
yeah, that does happen.
They take priority over prepping the car.
That does happen. That does.
It makes for a busy night.
I know.
A busy day.
So, yeah, congratulations to those guys. I do want to say something about that race, though, and I want to talk about a couple other things about that race. The first is last show, I talked about the coverage that I saw at some race, and I whined about how it just was, please just talk about the freaking races. Make it so it's enjoyable so I know what's happening, so I know what kind of cars are running. Like, you can't tell from a video. Maybe you think I can't. And I've been doing this a long time, And, dude, I don't want to say the fallout was big because it really wasn't, but I heard little pepperings here and there of people being so insulted. And, like, when did our world change that you couldn't have an opinion? When did that happen that you couldn't give some honestly constructive criticism to something? If you're gonna create something for the public to devour, just like our show we do here. So again, you're preaching to the choir. I'm not gonna say something I don't know something about. But if you're gonna hand that over to the public, you have to do a couple of things. One, you have to understand that you're gonna get told what people like and don't like. I'm sure Colin understands that. I definitely do. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get the good and the bad. A lot of the bad, some of the good. The goods are pretty outweighing of the bads, but they come both ways. But you also accept the fact I believe, and maybe I'm crazy for this, but I believe you accept the fact that you're trying to put out something. You're going to put an effort into whatever it is you're doing. Why would anyone do anything if you didn't want to try to do it as best as possible? Why wouldn't you? So why is that so freaking bad for me to bring that up? Like, I wanted to bitch and complain about it, but I'm just not going to go down that road tonight. I'm not in the mood for it. But it really bothered me because I see people post and say things like, "Oh man, these people that can, do this, and this is why this world isn't the way it is." Well, if you're one of the people that forwards something, tells somebody something about somebody else, or someone else did or said, or you think they did or said, or they intended, just because there's going to be some reaction on that side, good or bad, I'm sorry, you're part of the problem. You really are. I don't know how else I can explain that to you. We talk about there's bad drivers out there in the world, but it's never us. Yeah, it probably is sometimes. It probably is sometimes. It has to be. The odds are against us. So, you know what I mean? Like, freaking knock it off. It's okay to say something's not okay. It's okay to be like, dude, that can be so much better. Why don't they do that? And then on top of that, I even said, look, I'll do it. I'll come give it a shot. I could fail miserably. I don't know. I've never done it, but at least I'll express the effort. Because Colin kind of even said that in the last show. He said something about, well, they are doing it. I agree, absolutely, and I thank them for that, for anyone doing it. But there's no reason not to do it better. There's no reason. There's no reason for that. So I heard a bit about that, and it just kind of disgusted me, And so I had no ill feelings towards anyone in that group or at that place or anything. I was just saying how I felt about it, for God's sakes. And I'll sum this whole thing up here and wind it down to an end. Is I only watched very little of the coverage this weekend. Unfortunately, I was busy, didn't get a chance. Man, that's a whole story unto itself. My wife had me doing. She had me doing craft shit. Building
honeydews.
Stuff. No. She wanted to build this thing. But anyway, let me finish this.
Oh, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
It's in my freaking wheelhouse, building shit. So
it's pretty cool, actually.
So I just want to say this. I watched very little of the coverage, but what little I did watch was heads above what it was before. Now, I don't know. It seemed like, I think Foster is his name.
Yep.
He was joining in, let's say, I'll call it joining in, but he was basically calling this race. He was sitting there explaining what was going on, who they were, kind of what their weekend had been like, where they come from. Like, there was a nice, solid, in the few races I saw, which is a great sampling because I just saw it a couple of times for a few races, this guy was on top of it. That's all I asked for.
Foster's awesome, by the way.
Did I have to be a bad? Does that make me a bad guy? Because they did it, and I saw people posting all over, going best show ever, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, it was exactly. Didn't I say that on this show last time? If you do this, people are going to sit there and go, that was the greatest race ever. I can't believe how great it was, and you did that because you explained it to people, and they got a chance to be emotionally involved. It wasn't bad. So don't turn that into something bad because I said it, because they did it and it was better. How much more can you prove it right?
Yeah.
So
Foster's one of the guys that organizes the 865 group out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and had me go out to their race out there. And he did that whole race, and man, he is such a fantastic guy. I can't say enough about Foster.
Dude, he did a unbelievably good job. A staggeringly good job. A job so good that to me, it was obvious he went there with a purpose to do this job and do it well. And he's seen enough drag racing and understands the whole everything I was talking about. Forever I know, he listened to the show and got insulted by it and went and did this, or got it, encouraged by it. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, it was good. And if they don't just drag him around the country with him, if they're going to do these things everywhere, they're just missing out.
Yeah, Foster's awesome. He almost ran that show in Knoxville all by himself due to untold circumstances. He wasn't completely by himself. There was people helping out, but
the bulk of the weight was on him.
He put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
if that is who that was, which I'm pretty sure that is,
Is.
he turned the whole corner of it for me. The whole corner of it. So
yeah, I mean, from picking me up at the airport and dropping me off at the airport and toting me around and going to Waffle House in the middle of the night. That was Foster. Same guy.
Yeah, man. Like, don't start the hate. Don't start the hate. I'm not into it. I'll tell you what, right now, honestly, I swear to you, please, for me, we had 24 hours without, or whatever it was, a few hours without Facebook. It was glorious. I loved it. I can't wait until I quit this shit.
Pretty nice.
But honest, I mean, this is honest to God truth for all of our sakes. If you get upset by the things I say or do or feel compulsed to reach out to other people to go, so-and-so said this or did that or what, please remove yourself from my following. Please do it. Block me, do whatever it takes. Please do it. Please don't put us both through it. If it's that bad, go away. I don't know how else to say that. You know? I have opinions, kids. I'm sorry. Been on this planet 53 years. I got some opinions about things. And the crazy part is some of them aren't really wrong. So, yeah, all I said, last time I'm going to mention, all I said was, freaking can't you guys explain this race in a way that I can get emotionally involved in it? So I can love this. If I was at the race, I would be there already because I would already know what's going on because you're in the pulse of the race. You know, but when you're on the outside, you got to be told. We all the only reason we do any of this stuff because we all saw it somewhere. We all saw it on TV and we heard an announcer talking about it and it got us involved and we got it in our heart and we love it. So I'm not saying it's. Oh, all right. So tired of people sometimes. They're just the guys.
You're gonna have all kinds, no matter what you do.
I know.
If you shit puppies and rainbows all day long, you're still going to get people shitting on you. So you just got to ignore the people that are shitting on you or pooping out.
Yeah. Well,
puppies and rainbows.
Then I'll end it here. Then it was the best one yet. Best live feed that I've seen to date. And I didn't get much of it, and I felt bad that I didn't because I thought, man, I missed out on really enjoying this race. But I'll tell you, the little bit that I did see, I knew exactly what was going on. I did see when our guest coming on went out. I saw that round, and it was built up. I was excited for that race. They were telling me how excited I should be for that race. Fuck yeah. Tell me about how excited I should be. Dude, this is Frank over here. It's about to happen. He goes here. He goes to the final. Oh, shit. So exciting, you know? So
that road looks so amazing. Even when at the lights at night, it looked like it was lit up well.
So many 1/8s on a road like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy times.
Magic road. We ain't got no road out here like that. You go too flat on our roads, are like, woo, you were killing it.
Yeah, that's a good hit on a lot of our roads.
Damn them. Where was that again? Was that in
Kentucky?
In Kentucky?
Yeah, I'm not.
Damn,
I don't know where in Kentucky.
That's an unbelievable road. I wonder what it's made out of. Is it asphalt with a little like roof shingle in it or something crazy? It's just sticky and fast. I mean, it's incredible.
They mixed some sandpaper with some VHT.
Yeah, huh?
Laid it down.
Packed it down like mud in an Adobe. Yeah, they would look pretty flat too. It didn't look like it had much crown or anything. It just did its thing. So.
It looked great.
All right, well, we're gonna find out.
So, we got a guest coming on, but I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Before we head that direction, we've had a bunch of people ask today about the Discord.
Oh yeah, I thought a little bit about that.
So
well, we were doing Discord. Did we ever do this Discord, you and I?
Oh yeah.
Did we? We were doing Discords, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're fun for everyone listening, but for us, they're a little bit of a pain because we're a little
distracting.
We're a little too free fat. They are a little distracting when you know there's people actually sitting there listening. It's a lot freer when it's just Colin and I.
And the sound quality just wasn't as good.
Yeah, I did think about this today, though. I thought, we could do, like we tend to do right now. We're probably going to do one show a month, maybe, that will be just questions and junk, like us.
Yeah,
like no guest. I mean,
do that.
I like to get off the guest train. Yeah, I'm not a fan of guest shows, just because they take so dang long to do. But they're fun to talk to people, so that's a tough one. But yeah, that's what I thought. If we did them anytime, it'd be during those shows. It's easier to manage at that point.
We've had so much background noise from people that don't turn off their microphones.
Yeah,
Discord.
And it takes a while to get going because you got to get everybody in there and everybody muted, and you got to bring people in and take people out, and you know what I mean. It just becomes a lot of work for us. Me and Colin can just sit down and start talking about whatever, and so
right.
Unfortunately, it's really more of that reason. If we had free time and hours to burn, sure. I mean, really, that's it. But we sit down and we cram them in. Like we stop because one of us, me, has to go to bed. By the time he gets home, by the time I need to go to bed, that's our window, and we do it all during that time. So, just what it is.
Yeah,
what it is for the working class, dude.
Yeah, when we're done here, I start making dinner, and then I go to work.
Yeah, I eat right before,
Kinda.
So I can run all the way up until bedtime. So, oh my goodness. Let's see. I do want to talk about. We're going to cover a couple of quick things, just some news items, just because they're cool. And then we'll get the heck out of here. And I bet Frank's already messaged me. Let's take a look, everybody. Let's see. Has Frank messaged us already? Nope, that's not Frank. Yep. Okay, he's ready. So all right then. We'll jump out of here. So the couple news items I wanted to hit is the Biddy Design body and rear wing. Yeah, I got that and put it together in the car, and it's pretty bitchin' looking. It's pretty cool. It fits the car nice. It's got nice lines. I'm a huge fan of the rear wings that they give you. They give you essentially enough to make 3 different wings. I do like that too. I was going to get into a whole thing about the wing height, but I'll just sum it up with this because someone asked about how high the wings, and I know that they were asking because they were going to think that it's higher than the roof. It's no good. Okay, I will agree with that. There is an MPRC rule about wing or side dam heights that they can't be higher than the roof of the vehicle. But there's also a lower line in that same rule that says any wings provided from the manufacturer for that body are deemed legal. That was put in place because when all that came out, like in the first year of the MPRC, when the guys up in Northern California were running those big, huge wings in the back and side dams, and everybody was trying to keep it very, very low profile and clean and all that. Well, I mean, come on, kids, we've gone way past that now. And so that's where that rule came into place. And at the time, because when they put that rule into place, which I didn't agree with, I voted no to that rule, by the way. Just saying. I don't give a shit about it. Aerodynamics, just do it. Have a good time. This is where I want to see the cars. I want to see them trying to go as fast as they really can. It's a race car.
I will say keep them looking somewhat scale.
Yeah, well, my car does look somewhat scale.
Yeah.
But the wing is a little bit above, maybe a quarter inch, maybe a little less, above the roof of the car. But like I said, the rule reads that it can be above. And why we did that too was later on that year, maybe it was by the next year, Shark bodies had come out with wing sets, and they were just a tiny bit above the roof. And at that point, everybody had mellowed out about the big wing thing and calmed down about it. And so as a group, we decided, hey, let's just put this rule into place. That way, if a manufacturer makes a wing for their body, not an aftermarket like that. If a manufacturer makes the wing, that's for that body, Like, you know, if you have a Bandito body, let's just call it, it has to be, this is our rear wing for the Bandito body. You know what I mean? It has to be for that body.
Bandito.
Yeah, I like that name. Someone make a Bandito body.
To go with the Bandito tires.
Yes. And so that was the whole point of that add-on piece. And that's been in there over a year. About a year and a half now, at least, if not 2. Maybe 2, probably. Time goes fast. And so if I look at this car under that rule, yeah, they sell this wing for this car. This is the wing kit they designed. There's 3 of them you can choose from. They have a really low, short, nothing one that's they consider like for 13.5. They call it the super stock or something like that, I think. Then I don't know what they call the middle one, and this is called the outlaw. Dun, dun, dun. And so, I'm sure at some point maybe it will. I don't think it, honestly, unless I bring it up, I probably shouldn't even mention it because I don't think it'll ever come up, or I didn't think it would because no one ever brought up the Shark ones. They're taller than the car, unless you trim it down. But I mean, the way the guy designs them, John designs them a little taller. That's fine. I mean, that's his deal. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. I mean, if we were really going to get pissy with the rule, but we wanted the cars to work and stay stable, then okay, you got to keep them clear. And then from a photo standpoint, when you're, you know, standing at least more than 3 feet away, you can't even see the thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you really wanted to get nitpicky about it. But I don't know. I feel like we've gone so far past that now. These
I just
cars...
want the cars to remain looking...
I understand, but these are
good.
80-mile-an-hour cars.
I don't care. They still have to look like a real...
But
car.
don't you think?
That's my opinion.
But don't you think this wing is in that realm
No, it still looks badass.
of not looking ridiculous, like a slot car, kind of what you're thinking, like huge side dams from the front to the back of the car and that kind of thing?
Right. What I'm worried about is somebody going out and getting a 8-scale nitro on-road body and putting it on, or a dirt oval body. Like a late model wedge style body and putting it on, because what's the rule against that?
Right.
But it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's my concern. Make them look like somewhat close to a real car, a real drag car.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but then you could become, I mean, realistically, if you don't want to have any interpretation of the rules, you come down to where you have to create a body list.
Yeah.
You know? And God, you know, is that what you want for Outlaw?
Only if it's a full-time job for me.
Right.
I'll make a list.
Right. Right. This ain't no full-time job.
It gets ridiculous when the rules start going crazy.
Man.
But just
the thing is,
I just ask that everybody keeps it somewhat scale.
Right. The thing is that I mean, that's why the one rule that I forced to be in there that I really wanted was in there. All rules and all rulings are up to the race official, whoever the director of that race is. So if he looks at your body and goes, no, you can't run a wedge body here, dude. That doesn't work. And that's how you fix it. Not by writing a million rules. You do it by having people who are strong. Like I saw this crying and carrying on about 13.5 class, and we need more rules for this. We got to run a special motor. And no, you know what you need? You need people who put on races that won't put up with bullshit. That's what you need. That will call people out and go, because that's what it is, right? Okay, we have to keep writing rules because you won't reach out to the cheaters? Come on.
We could do a whole show on that 13.5 scenario.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already know my feeling on that class. Because of that, because of this, I knew this would happen. I had no doubt in my mind. I should have went to Vegas and put money on it because I'd be a millionaire. But all right, let's get out of here so we can get Frank in
do
here.
a break.
Yeah, do a break. Oh yeah, one more last thing. God, I'm gonna cram this in there. The DRC rear belted tires. I got a few sets of those. They're pretty badass. I highly suggest trying them. That's all.
And this is from a guy who's run the Voodoos.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tire you can get a hold of. That's a thicker rubber. It's a little bit heavier, but it's definitely not going to puncture and get the pinholes. Like I've got a set of silver Voodoos that are junk because they've got a couple pinholes in them. And I mean, you can't do anything about it. It's around the tread side. It's the craziest shit ever. I don't know what the fuck I ran over, but yeah. But they're a little thicker, a little denser. Yeah, I don't know. I got 4 sets of them, and I put one together on air on wides, And I'm very happy. If the voodoos didn't exist, it would be the king of all kings right now. People would be falling over themselves to get a hold of it. So
I got a box today with some tires in it.
Oh, good.
And that's all I'm going to say.
So am I getting a box soon? Just a smaller version of yours? All right. We'll be right back after the... Ooh, I got a good one for you guys. We'll be right back after these words. Got the need for speed? Go over 70 miles an hour in your maxamps.com powered ride and you could win an exclusive custom t-shirt that cannot be purchased. Club members also receive a free maxamps.com swag package. And for you really fast drivers, hit 100 miles an hour in your Max Amps powered ride, and you could also get a custom Nitro Killer hoodie. These items cannot be purchased. They are reserved for those labeled as truly the fastest. To qualify, email us a link to your YouTube video showing the following: your maxamps.com battery in your vehicle, and a GPS or radar to prove your speed. Once we receive the link, we'll send you your club member t-shirt or hoodie for a picture that we'll add to our Speed Hall of Fame. Max Amps. Power. And we are back. Colin had to go pee. So we gotta wait for Colin.
I feel so much better.
This might have been the best transition ever because usually we get stuck. We can't get people in the room. We can't, or we end up chatting for 25 minutes before we even get in to start recording. But somehow
we almost started going down that road.
I pulled the reins up. Yeah. You know why I did is because I'll introduce him in a minute. He's just going to sit over there quietly and rest his voice. It is because of that, because this guy, poor guy, has been sick, and you're going to hear he's got it in him a little bit. And I was like, hey, we got to save every bit of voice we got in this guy because I want it all.
I hear him cracking beers in the background, though. So he can't be that sick.
I hope he is. Yep. No. Okay. So joining us today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you decide to listen to this, the one and only the class wrecker, Frank Ulbrich. Welcome, Frank.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
It's the TSR Speed Shop RC podcast. You're a long list of the many super fast drag dudes that we have had on this show, but I don't know that we've had anybody who's actually gone faster than you.
The list is fast. The list is long, man. There's a lot of fast people out there.
Dude.
Getting faster by the week.
Dude.
This is
awesome to see.
It is awesome, and it's crazy because the cars are so fast. The one thing I saw, at least a little bit, I saw this race, like just reaction times and everything means so much now. Like it's changing. Everybody's fast, but then you've got to really figure out a way. How can I become quicker? Where I'm doing everything quicker. And be
you're
faster.
not going to win these races with 400 lights.
No. And I prefer it. I don't know. I tend to prefer the instant green for that fact that it makes it kind of it makes a toss up out there.
Yeah.
If it was a 410s, yeah, man, I've done 410s forever, and I know Frank has.
I'm just saying on instant green, if you're cutting like high 300s or even in the 400s on instant green, that's not going to cut it much longer.
Yeah, you're done. No. Yeah, you're out of there.
No, it's got to be 3 flat or less.
Yeah, you better have 2 or 3 tenths on the guy next to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right, dude. So you're here with us. You just got back from the Kentucky race, the big East Coast shootout, as it were. So I know you went a bunch of rounds. I saw your last round. Unfortunately, man, I was pulling for you, dude, because you and I talk, and I think I even said it one time on this show. I'm like, dude, I know it's time. Like, I just know it. I know it.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, starting off at the beginning, Jamie Woosley, Blake, and Stan and those guys in Kentucky, they put on a top-notch program, like second to none. The track itself's amazing. Everything, their timing system's amazing. There's never any hiccups with it. I mean, the way they pushed people through tech, it's just a fair race. I mean, Malakote, Dustin from 5'7" was a title sponsor, and he got DQ'd his first run because he was underweight. You know what I mean? So,
oh my gosh, what the hell?
The way they do things is just awesome.
Wow.
And everything went super smooth with the entire race. And there was a couple little hiccups here and there, like the chip draw took a little longer than people would like. We had a couple little rain delays. That kind of stuff's going to happen. That's unavoidable.
Yep.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, the best part of the whole deal, I thought, was practice Friday night. They didn't set the timing system up.
I love it.
Perfect.
So the practice line went so unbelievably fast.
Yeah.
Everybody got plenty of test hits. There was no tree, no nothing. Everyone just put your car up there, make a pass. If you got a GNSS to tune with, great. The line went so fast. And then once they had the tree up Saturday morning, it took like 5 times longer to get a test hit in.
Yeah.
In my opinion, these races all should be like no tree until it's race time, especially instant green. You don't need to practice on an instant green.
Right.
I agree.
It just moves through the program so much smoother and faster.
Wow, that's a good point.
Awesome.
Wow, that's a really good point.
I don't think there should be any times at all throughout the races, but
I mean, during the race, it ain't bad to have for data. I mean, but you got your GNSS anyway, so I'm in the air about it. The times are nice to have. I mean, if you want to compare where you're at with the rest of the field during the race, yeah, cool, whatever. But if they end up going the route where there's no times, I'm cool with that too. I come from street racing real cars, so everything was no time back in the day.
Exactly. You had to guess who you're.
Absolutely.
Well, you kind of had an idea, but
you had an idea, but you didn't know exactly.
No.
But, I mean, either way they go with it in the future, I'm okay with. But for practice, no times was awesome.
Yeah, I'm down with. I like that whole idea. I can see times for the race itself, like right then.
Yeah.
That'd be cool because then you can kind of verify your GNSs and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. And
plus it's cool for people watching
exactly
on live feeds and whatnot.
Exactly.
Everyone's at. It's cool. It adds to the entertainment factor.
Exactly. Because when you're watching
like that.
Yeah, and when you're watching, now during the real race, like, okay, this guy was quicker than this guy, and I totally agree. But I do love the idea of nothing beforehand because then all of you too, what you ran, but you don't know what everybody else ran. You can only try to at least run next to them, maybe try to pair up with them and run next to them and see if you can get around them or what, So
even though it's fast on a GNSS and you know what you're running, so you know if you're in the ballpark or not. I mean, that's all that really matters. In a test and tune, like a Friday night before a race or whatnot.
Yeah, no, I like it.
It was just the smoothness of how everything went Friday night with how many test runs everybody was able to get in. And you're not waiting for someone to hit the tree and then the staff to go fix the tree and all that bullshit.
So that's the worst.
If you're not waiting for people to stage the cars every pass, they just throw their car up, make a hit, bring it back, they're out of the way,
Yeah, no, that's good. So how many test hits did you make, do you think?
I probably got, that's another thing. We got Lindsay's car dialed in first. She made like 2 hits and she was good. We put hers away. She went like a 198 at 79 on the GNSS. So we're like, all right, that's good. Let's put it away. You're close.
Yeah.
So then I busted out the Apollo car, which that's the car I was planning on racing. And I had some new motor stuff I was playing with and some battery stuff, and the car was just retarded fast. I mean, it was mid 190s, like a bracket car on the GNSS, between 80 and 83 mile an hour. It was rolling. And so I'm like, all right, this thing's good. I made about 7 passes with it to try to get it dialed in, and it was really good. So I put it away for the morning. That was going to be my race car. And I had another hour or so of testing to do. Or the track was open for another hour or so. So I pulled out the Aero car that I ran in Wisconsin and Ohio last month, and I wanted to get a couple practice hits with it just in case. You never know what's going to happen. In case I wanted to run 2 cars or whatnot. So I made a couple hits with that, and that was really fast too. So I was happy with it. I'm like, all right, good. I'll sleep good tonight. We got some good shit going into tomorrow morning. And we get out to practice in the morning. Lindsay makes a pass. Her car, bracket car again, dialed. I take the Apollo out, and I pull the trigger 15 feet out. It browns out on me, and I lose steering, lose everything. So I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. So I took it back to the pit. I thought maybe the battery. I swapped the speed control, swapped the battery, went back out for another test hit with it, same thing. So at this point, there's just something going on, and I don't know if it's ESC related, motor related, or amp draw related, or what, but I just didn't trust the car, so I pulled the Aero out that I ran in Ohio and Wisconsin and ended up racing that car, which was fast. I mean, it could have got the job done, but I didn't get to run the car I really wanted to. So that kind of stuff happens once in a while. I'm kind of contributing it to too much horsepower and the 160 amp load on the ESC, the Hobby Wings.
Yeah,
I think I'm pulling too many amps out of that ESC, and it's not liking it.
Yeah, that was a common thing in one cell. was there was very few ESCs that would handle it, and they would do exactly like they would launch and then just poof, like as soon as the front end got up, it came down, boom, that was it. Shuts right off. Yeah, over and over and over it would do it. Yeah.
Which I think it runs good when I put my practice batteries in it and average tune, but once I wake it up and put a good battery in it, that's when it starts browning out on me. So yeah.
You have reached the limit, young master.
Exactly. So we got to do something about that. We got a lot more horsepower on tap that I'm dying to use.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Great. I hope they don't figure it out for a while. I mean,
thanks, man.
Oh man, you need to be faster.
We need something to slow you down.
Yeah, everyone's getting too fast, man. It's getting fun.
They are fast. So tell us about your race. Like how did it all go? I mean, you've got solid cars, so
yeah. Well, first round, the track temp started getting warm. The sun came out, so the track starts to get a little slick during the day when the sun's beating on it. So first pass, I ran a 181 at I think 80 mile an hour, spinning the tires for the first 20 foot.
Wow.
So I was like, oh boy, here we go. So after the shutdown, I had a little issue stopping the car, and I kind of like rolled it in the grass a little bit, and I brought it back to the pits, and I thought it was pretty good. I looked it over. I thought I caught everything, but I didn't. So the next pass, I go out to make a pass, and the rear camber's kind of wonky on me. I kind of lost a degree in my right rear or something. Next hit, the car pulled to the right on me really bad. So I had to lift, and I got beat in the second round, I think it was, to I think a 190 car or 195 car. And after that, I brought it back to the pits, fixed the camber, fixed everything else. After that, it was good to go. The next pass was like another 180-something pass at 80. It was perfectly straight. It was golden. Throughout this whole time, Lindsay's just running 185 at like 77, like a bracket car, just getting through the field, you know. Her style, I thought she was going to win it for sure. She had two cars in really deep. But yeah, then the sun kind of started going away, and the track started getting better and better. I turned her car down and my car down a little bit. We took about 15 degrees of timing out of them while it was sunny out, just to assure they were going to get down the track. And they did. And then as the night went on, it started getting more and more bite. And we started adding a little bit more power at a time, a little more, and the track was taking it pretty good. I think we got down to 5 cars left, and Lindsay and I were both still in the field going into the semis. So on her side of it, it was her versus Rodney Centers, the guy who won it. Rodney's an awesome dude. I've known him for a long time, raced slot cars with him. Good dude, cool guy. It was her and Rodney. Whoever won that race got the bye into the finals because neither of them got a bye yet. So her and Rodney were up. She's usually killer on the tree. She slept. She cut like a 410 light to his 300 or whatever. She went quicker. He beat her on a hole shot. So she was done. That was her last car. And the other side of it, it was me and Chris Gilliland, who ended up making it to the finals. I think me and Chris met up when there was 6 to go. And I beat Chris the first time we lined up. I went a little quicker than him and left on him. He was fast though, man. He was moving the whole time. He was between like 179 and like 195. He was just a little inconsistent though. Like he'd make the 179, and then his next pass would be like a 195. So I clipped him the first time we got together. He had 2 entries, so that knocked him down to 1. Then he had a bye. Then we met up again in the final 4, him and I, with his second car and my second car, and that was to go to the finals against Rodney after he already beat Lindsay. So me and Chris lined up, and he got me on the whole shot that second run we were together. He ran a 193, I think it was, or 194 with a 256 light to my 188 at like a 315 or 330 light or something.
Wow.
So he ended up getting me by, I think it was like 0.03 or something total.
Oh, shit.
In a whole shot. So, I mean, that's what this racing is coming down to. There's so many fast cars now. And this race, there was more fast cars at this race than I've ever seen at any race. The amount of cars that were in the 1.9s, and there was a handful in the 1.8s even. it was very competitive. I mean, everything had to be perfect.
That's crazy.
Or you weren't going to get it done, you know?
That says a lot for, the whole no prep scene in general, having that many fast guys.
Oh, yeah. There was probably 20
up.
cars in the sub-2s.
Wow.
It was very impressive.
There's quite a few in Wisconsin sub-2s as well.
Yep. And a lot of those guys like Chris Gilliland, Chris Sanchez, those Chicago-based racers, I mean, they're really fast. There was 6 or 8 of them that were flying, And then Ohio, I mean, you got Jeff Zuccarelli. Nathan Nally was a rocket in practice. He went like a 184, 185 in practice. He was one to watch.
Wow.
There was a handful of them just really had their shit together and were getting down that track really good.
Damn, that was a good race. We missed that one, Colin.
It was
that one snuck in under the radar.
It did. I didn't even know it was happening.
Did. Yeah.
I mean, it's one to hit in the future, though. I mean, the track, the facility where it's at. I mean, Jamie and Blake, the way they run the show. I mean, it's a good one.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it certainly sounds like it.
I think it'll be a big one next year for sure.
Yeah,
bigger.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Now that people find out, that it's on top of being a great surface and a fast surface where you'll probably run faster than you've ever run. It's run really well and it's an enjoyable event. And
when the bike comes up on that track, when it's cool out, it's incredible. You can hear the tires chirping 60 foot. It's amazing. Like I had to dial more power because I was slowing down. I had to add some more timing to take off in it.
Wow.
Yep.
I love it so much. Holy cow. Give him a question.
Damn it, I missed a good one.
Yeah, I know we did.
All right. Wade Madfish designs Labofish. He's got the longest name ever. How often does Frank do testing on his cars? Is he like most of us who only get a couple hours here and there a week? Thanks, guys.
Well, I only get a couple hours, but I fit in usually like 40 to 50. The girlfriend's really good about keeping an eye on the kids while I'm wrenching on stuff and testing. Or I'll find a place to test that has a park where we can bring the kids and send them off to the park to play, But no, I spend probably minimum 5 hours a day between testing and wrenching. Minimum.
Every single day.
Every day.
Every single day.
There you go, folks.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
If it's not wrenching on, you can't test every day because you've got to wrench on stuff and keep things on par,
It's true.
Mechanically. So there might be 2 or 3 days of wrenching, then 2 days of testing, then another day of wrenching, then another couple days of testing. I'm not going to go out and test just to test unless I have something I want to try. Other than that, it's just wrenching. But there's so much stuff I want to try that it's endless. It's just it's wild.
Wow. There's where I'm going wrong right there.
Dude, I was just thinking I was running down my schedule. We're not far off.
Yeah.
I pack all my testing in 2 days, but
I mean, you gotta sacrifice a lot of stuff if you want to be competitive with this.
Yep.
It's like any type of racing. You've got to kind of let it consume you and put in 100% effort if you want to do good with it.
Shit's not easy, is it?
Exactly, shit's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there it is. There's the quote I was waiting for.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for I don't know how many episodes now. As Frank says, this shit is hard.
Shit is hard, man.
It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart either.
No. I've told many people, this isn't for you, man. This is not for you, dude.
Yeah, so we don't do this really for fun. I mean, we have fun with the camaraderie with all the people and friends and everything at the race, but I don't do this for fun. I go out there to win.
No, yeah, this is a grind. This is serious business.
Frank wants to kick your ass.
Yep.
I was taught at a very young age, we're not going racing to have fun. We're going racing to win.
Damn right. That's right.
And,
my dad used to pack when we go racing. He'd always leave one spot open. Like, why? He goes, that's where the trophy goes when we come home.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Where you don't win, you're walking home.
Yeah. Leave a space.
All that shit.
Frank Corey Lively asks, which radio do you prefer and why? The Sanwa M17 or the Futaba 7PX?
I like the 7PX, man. It's just, I mean, there's situations where the Sanwa's better. Like for a Tekin speed control, if you're running 276 software in it and you need the ESC, or you need the radio to be able to tune your power ramp and all that fun stuff and fine tune it. The Sanwa's probably a little better for that. But any speed control like a DRK or a Hobby Wing or an R1 that has enough adjustability, I prefer the Futaba. I mean, the Sanwa, you can confuse yourself so much with that radio, it's not worth it, you know? And once you get it dialed in and you think you know what to do to change if the track gets loose or if it tightens up, and you go to bump, like, say one of your P values up like 2-3%, it never really always reflects what the car's doing on the track, you know? I mean, you've got to have so much time into it. There's only a handful of people, I'd say maybe 2 to 3 people that can really dial in a Sanwa the way it should be. And Mark Vine's one and Jeff Zuccarelli's the other, in my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so complicated. There's probably a few more people out there, but I spent a lot of time with both of the radios, the Sanwa and the Futaba. And that Sanwa, man, that'll drive you up a wall.
Too many adjustments.
Yeah, it's just it's overcomplicated. I mean, it works good, don't get me wrong, and a lot of people are going really fast with it. And I think Chris Gilliland uses one, and he went 179 in Kentucky this weekend. He's fast with it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happens when the track changes, if they work the tune in the radio or try the ESC. But I guess I have a little experience with it. A couple weeks ago, I went to Kentucky and I burned up all my Hobby Wings testing weird stuff. And the only speed control I had left in the box was a Tekin with a 2.0, and I had my Sanwa radio. So I ended up racing that for the hell of it, you know. And every pass, the car would just like chirp the tires at half track. I'm like, okay, what am I doing to get this out? So I played with the P values and the Sanwa and all that, and I got it a little better, but it wasn't great. So I mean, it's a complicated radio. I like the Futaba, simplicity. Keep it simple.
There it is.
So I know.
Sorry about the long answer.
No,
that's good.
Dude.
That's great.
We got to fill time.
People need to hear this
Seriously,
stuff.
Carry on. So, dude, you know the whole deal of the voodoo and all that, but you're a reaction guy, right?
Yeah.
Is that true? We talking truth here?
I've tried both, man.
No, but you're primarily, that's what you're running is reactions.
Oh yeah.
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 So
I mean, I don't like to run the voodoos because you can't get them.
yeah.
You know, I can go just as fast on reactions. I had a car set up for this weekend that was on voodoos. I had it set up for silvers, and it was fast, but it wasn't any faster than my reaction cars.
There you go. So you want to talk about your tire setup? Because you know everybody wants to know.
Yeah,
I'll save the 100 questions.
It's nothing crazy, man. It's,
I know you've told me, but they don't believe it if I say it. So
it's a stock reaction tire.
Let's not beat around the bush.
My favorite reaction tires are the second version with no beads or no ribs. That's my favorite. The last version they had wasn't bad with the little ribs. You know, not like the V1 where the whole sidewall's rib. The newest batch is pretty good because you can cut the ribs out of them and soften up the sidewall if you need to. Depending on surface, most surfaces I don't need to cut the sidewall out of, the sidewall ribs. If I'm on a loose track, I'll always have a set or two with me that I have the ribs cut out of the sidewalls to soften it up to make it just like the V2 tire. I run the Showtime wheel with stock foams. I don't add any new holes or I don't add any breather holes in the tire or the rim. I just leave it all stock.
No air?
No air. I've tried air. I didn't like it. I've seen too many people come up to the starting line with flat tires with air. You know, fuck that. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
It's a pain in the ass.
So, I mean, I've tried the air. The air works. It works really good, but so does the foam. Yeah. The foam, in my opinion, is more consistent. The air, if you have one tire that's like quarter of a pound off, your car's pulling left or right, or at least mine did when I tried the air.
Yep.
It just wasn't as consistent to me. But yeah, there's really no magic there, man. I'll take the tires once they're glued up. I'll take some either Cherry Bomb or Beetlejuice, something wintergreen based. Put a couple coats on it and bag it for a couple days. After that, a night before a race, I'll pull them out of the bag. I'll take some either mineral spirits, naphtha, or brake clean, and try to get all the oil out of the rubber. Try to get some of the oil based out of the rubber. Yeah, if you leave that in and then try coat it with like a gremlin goo or a reaction time, it'll become greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't flash.
Yep. So once you get all that out of the rubber, you've now removed the oil out of the rubber, but the tire's still about 8 to 10 points softer on a durometer than a stock reaction. So you still accomplished softening the rubber up, which is what you're looking for. You're not really looking to coat it with oil. You're looking to just soften the rubber. Then once I get to the track, I'll take the car, put like a coat of gremlin goo on it and do a burnout right in my pit, just to kind of scuff the tire in because it's brand new at this point. I don't go through any sandpaper or any of that stuff. Kind of simulate a burnout or a run, on the tire, and put it back in the pit and clean it off with some mineral spirits or naphtha. Put some gremlin goo on it, heat it, go make a pass, and it's usually chirping and ready to go. They don't even take long to break in. A couple passes, and it's good. If the track's really loose or if it's really sunny out, it might take 5-6 cycles of gremlin goo and naphtha, to get the tire really tacking up. But once it tacks up, you throw a bunch of heat to it, it'll chirp like crazy. You're ready to go.
It's true. Wow.
Oh, there it is.
See? You're all welcome.
You could write that.
Special.
You could put that in the NPRC Bible right now. That's.
I love the fact that it's so many stock things. It's none of the hoopla.
Yeah.
No valves. I got shit stocked around me to make tires out of that, just wackadoos.
No.
But this guy's just gluing a tire to a wheel with the foam that came with it. Let's go.
Yeah. And I tried the reactions and voodoos at my local test
It's just
spot,
insulting, isn't it?
like last week or the week before, because I wanted to make sure that voodoos weren't better. And I tested for 8 hours one day, tires and everything with like the hottest tune I could throw at this thing. And the reactions went 129 at 60 mile an hour, I think it was. And the voodoos went 135 at 59 or something. So the reactions were quicker to 66 foot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's glaze over the fact this guy's running 1.2s. 66. We're just gonna slide past that, but
66 foot, man, that's nothing.
Yeah,
we're not worthy.
It is.
We're
nothing.
not worthy.
Man, and I'm over here trying to beat Colin.
Test.
Yep.
Holy shit!
4 to 5 hours a day.
Yeah,
folks.
That's what it takes.
You heard that. If you're not ready to put that in,
how much money did you win? Did you win any money?
Yeah, I think I won like $1,600 over the weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Paid for the trip.
Hell yeah,
Paid
that's
for the trip.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it hasn't been a bad month. I mean, between Wisconsin and that Ohio Fall Classic, that was a good payout too. That was almost a couple grand.
Yeah.
And this race, paying some bills, man.
Dude.
Yeah, now you're going to get the big one here soon. I know you are.
We'll see.
You know that they were. You do realize they were only 2 wins, each of them 1 win away from running each other in the final. How badass! Like, you had to have known. Like, you had to have crossed your mind.
We knew.
Like,
We were there, dude.
Man, we got to have this happen. This would be so awesome.
Cool. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It is gonna happen.
When's the next big one you guys are going to?
Probably the Southern Florida one. That's the next big one.
Oh, January.
Race. Yep.
It's crazy. You guys didn't take each other out.
No, I know. We didn't meet until
That's cool.
We wouldn't have met until the finals.
Yeah. Never.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Wisconsin, you weren't even on the same bracket either.
Nope.
Oh, so they're throwing them on the opposite sides probably on purpose, so that doesn't happen. That's cool.
It's rigged.
You gotta think there's some play going on.
There's shenanigans afoot.
No, but this Kentucky race, man, there could be two guys in the final that deserved it more, man. Rodney and Chris,
I agree.
Man, they've been working their asses off, and both good guys and both fast as shit. They deserved it.
Absolutely.
They put in the work and got there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And speaking of Chris Gilliland, he says Frank is a class act and has nerves of steel. It's great to see that he's able to have his whole family involved in racing. My question is, what is your pre-race ritual to get your mind right for the impending race?
Good question.
Oh man, I don't know. Let's see. Honestly, just knowing you put in all the work prior to that. You know, I mean, you gotta have some faith in the work you've put in. You know, I mean, as a racer, you try to be humble and all this other stuff, but as much work as we've put in and the numbers I've laid down and the results I've came up with, I go up to the line every time thinking I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet in my head. You know,
Amen.
Yep.
And you have to. If you can't be a little egotistical in your own mind, you're not going to do very good at this.
You know, there's never been a champion in any other sport or anything that has not think that he's the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
You
going into
have
it.
to.
You have to.
And I mean, you need to get some results to be able to have some confidence to think that way. That's probably my weak point. It's hard for me to think like that sometimes. Because no matter how fast I go or how good I do at races, I'm never really satisfied with the results, no matter what it is. You know, I could go win a race and be like, fuck, I could have been like half a tenth quicker. You know, I could have did this, could have did that. I'm never really satisfied with the results. So it's hard for me to kind of think that way. I always think I could be better. So it's kind of hard. I have issues with that. But mentally, I try to be loose, you know, try to have some fun with it. When I'm too serious at races, I do like shit. It's been like that for me since I was a kid. If I go to a race and I'm actually having fun and enjoying who I'm hanging out with and having a good time, I'm a lot looser, you know, and I drive better and I keep an eye on my car better. And honestly, having Lindsay there and the kids there, it's kind of a nice distraction because it doesn't allow me to get too tensed up and stressed out. I'll have Ace screaming or crying in the pits or something, and it'll be nice to go take care of him for a minute to get away from the car, you know, to clear my head.
That's a good point. Wow.
But,
what else you got for him, Colin?
Man, I got so much. Jeremy Joseph Olson, a.k.a. OKO, Oliver, says, hey, it's OKO. Hi, Frank. You are a beast when it comes to new innovations and no prep. I want to know if you are flattered when people mimic your ideas, or does it frustrate you because all of the hard work you're putting in?
No, it doesn't frustrate me at all. I mean, it's flattering, you know. I mean, I've kind of been through it a lot. Like with the oval cars I used to race, I was very innovative with 10 scale carpet oval pro modified racing. I was at the top of the game in that for a long time. And there was a lot of companies that designed cars around like what I was building and what I was racing, you know, and it's good. I think it helps because if somebody's running the same thing as I am, which I'm fine with, it pushes me to think of what's the next step, you know. It keeps pushing, you know, and we need that in this hobby to keep progressing it. So it's no different than like Mark Vine on the West Coast. Going like all last winter, you know, or in the fall, he'd lay down a number and then push me to come back and lay down a number. You know what I mean? It's a back and forth thing. You need that competitiveness. And now that we're on the same team, it's going to be awesome. I mean, we're still going to be competitive, but we're going to help each other too. You know, so I like it, man. I like that I can contribute a little bit of innovation to the hobby.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that team because. You know, I know that you know Dustin. You've run his stuff since he started doing drag stuff, and probably before that. But it was just kind of you. Like there really wasn't much of a team really there.
Yeah.
And then I think it probably, if I had to guess, it probably happened after Dustin came out to Vegas and ran out there. I think he kind of saw how big it was and what was happening, and probably got caught up in it. And now. It seemed like there was a day a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago where everybody and their brother that was a top guy was making a post going, hey, I'm running this chassis now.
Yeah.
Pretty cool day.
I think it was good. It made me feel good. Like I put in enough work in the car to prove what it was capable of.
There you go.
Early on, you know, and it got the attention of a lot of other fast people, and they wanted to team up. And, you know, it's like, I hate saying get one or get beat by one, you know, but I mean, that's it's kind of a big deal, you know. I mean, it felt good that a lot of the top racers are looking at this car that I had a lot to do with making it what it is over the past year. I mean, Dustin, it's a great design, don't get me wrong, and there's so many other racers that could have done the same thing I did with it. But I was fortunate enough to be able to get out there to races and showcase the car and show everybody what it can do, and show the highlights of it. And between that and Dustin's machining capabilities and everything else, I mean, the car is just fucking top notch, so it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's a fast car, and I'm very, very excited to see what it'll do in a lot of these other racers' hands, like Mark and Zuck and Chris Sanchez. Chris Sanchez is already laying down stupid numbers with the thing, which is very cool to see.
Yeah.
So a lot of fast racers on it.
This kind of brings me to a question that I had myself. We had 5.7 designs with the Aero, and now we've got the GFRP with the Apollo. Why is there differentiation between 5.7 designs and GFRP when it's the same company, correct?
It is. Dustin owns both GFRP and 5.7, and I think he's kind of doing what he's been doing with his dirt cars. He's kind of got two different cars. I think the 5.7 for his dirt side is more of like a conversion company, and the GFRP is kind of like a complete car. So he came out with the Aero under 5.7 designs. I'm not sure why he picked 5.7 instead of GFRP, but he did. And the Apollos just offer something different. We had a lot of people asking about associated-based transmissions. Some of the racers, I'm not going to say complained, but they had gripes about how stiff the Aero was, and it was harder to get dialed in. It wasn't very tuner friendly, I mean, once it's dialed in, but if you're struggling with it, you're really going to struggle. It's no different than most other forms of racing. A stiff car is always going to be harder to dial in than a softer chassis, so we kind of wanted to have something that was a little more user friendly, that accommodated the associated transmission instead of the Traxxas that people were asking for. Testing both cars, they're both fast, man. I've been running the Aero lately at the last few big races just because I've been having horsepower issues in the Apollo with the new transmission. I'm not sure if it's the smaller idler gear creating more amp draw or if it's just the power I'm trying to stick through the Apollo right now. But I've been faster with the Apollo than the Aero. Both great cars. I'm not sure why he went two different directions with two different companies with two different cars. I think he likes to be overworked and complicate things, but good for him. I mean, he's going to sell a lot of both of them because they're both badass hot rods.
After seeing the Apollo in Wisconsin, that thing's a work of art.
It is. I mean, so is
really
the Aero.
is.
I mean, they're both gorgeous cars with gorgeous pieces, but that Apollo's over the top with the machine trans case and the bulkhead front end from the dirt car and all that stuff. It's gorgeous, you know,
it is.
with the brass weights integrated into the bumper and brass pieces for the rear. I mean, it's awesome.
Is that car available for people to buy now?
It's the pre-order, yes.
Okay.
So he's opened up pre-orders. I think he mentioned they should be shipping in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So
wow. Dude, there's so many cars out there. It's unbelievable.
There are. And I mean, not to take anything away from any other car manufacturers, but there's a lot of good cars out there,
There's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
One of my biggest gripes when I first started this stuff last year, I had one of Ken Lupe's DRC cars, and then Dustin sent me an Aero, and I was very competitive with the DRC. I mean, I was pretty fast with it. We were in the ones. We were running like 72, 73 mile an hour. My biggest gripe about the conversion car was just it never felt like a race car to me. It utilized like Traxxas buggy rear hubs and shit, and the stuff was sloppy, and it drove me nuts. Like the breaking point, I was like in my RC room night fucking with rear hubs for like 4 hours trying to get the slop out of it while it's still spun free, And finally I just tossed it on the floor and I'm like, I'm done. I could have built a whole Aero by now and rebuilt my Aero 3 times. Why am I struggling with this?
All right.
So it's just the quality of a complete kit is amazing, and I really do think that's where the future of this hobby is going. I think most car companies are going to have to offer a complete kit if they want to stay competitive in the industry in the next year or two.
You know, that's funny because I get questions from people all the time as to what car should I run? You know, people new coming into to no prep. What car should I run? Oh, get such and such a car. Okay, but then I got to buy a buggy and I got to buy all these parts to convert it,
which is a nightmare.
And all this stuff.
You got to get parts from like 4 different hobby shops if one doesn't have everything.
Yeah.
You know, and and by the time you're done with it, it's more expensive to do that.
Oh yeah.
I had a buddy that got into the hobby, John Zubak. He owns Zubak Speed Shops. I used to race oval with him. I've known him since I was a kid, and I got him into this and. We tried piecing together a DRC car. He spent like $1,500 in parts at the hobby shop because we didn't know exactly what we needed at the time and all kinds of other stuff, you know. I mean, it was a nightmare. And it took like 2 weeks to acquire all the parts, you know. That's bullshit.
Well, you're not wrong.
You know, with the way that the industry is right now and the COVID and all this stuff, getting parts for anything is tough.
Yeah,
exactly.
So piecing together stuff from 5 different suppliers is a nightmare.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of killer conversion cars out right now, but I see those companies even going to complete kits in the next year or so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why wouldn't they? It's gonna be easier for their customers. You know, they'll sell more of them. You know, just because of simplicity, one-stop shop. You know, it's gonna go that way.
That's a good point.
So
yeah.
So your new teammate Mark Vine says, how are you making that power through a freaking 5mm bullet connector?
Because it doesn't matter.
Those motive motors make so much smoke. I got to choke them down with the bullets.
Is that what it is?
I think that might be true though, because anytime I tried anything bigger than a 5mm bullet,
burning up.
I max out the amp load and shut shit down.
It's true.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, there's going to be a bottleneck somewhere.
Yep. That bottleneck's been helping me lately, so.
Yeah, it's your limiter.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that goes back to our rubber tires are going to be the limiter.
Yeah, now it's plugs.
You only put so much power down.
Some of these tracks with this traction compounds we have now, there's no limits, you know.
It's crazy.
Man.
Yep.
Crazy.
So, go ahead.
You go ahead. Tim,
well, I was just thinking. I was looking at a race out here in Yuma that last year they were looking at they showed like the top 20 or whatever, and like
2 1s to 2 3s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
and I mean, and you know as well as I do, just some of the names on that list should be well under that number, no matter what. Given that race this year was like let's say 1.8 cars, what do you think by next year? You think 90 miles an hour?
I'd say for sure. I mean, last year this time I ran like 75 mile an hour. At the end of last year I ran 189 at 75. This year I've been 83 like multiple times on a GNSS and timing systems, No, I take that timing systems. I went 82 at Kentucky. GNSS 83 multiple times. So I mean, we picked up 7-8 mile an hour in a year,
I'm 1 year behind Frank.
we dropped a 10th,
Yeah, no, I know.
So I mean, I see 90 next year for sure,
That's insane.
I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see it this year, but there just wasn't enough progression in the electronics, I think, in my opinion.
Well,
I got to tell you, all the electronics companies are trying as hard as they can.
Oh yeah, I know. It's tough, man. For these speed control companies, I wouldn't want your job, Colin.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want.
Nobody wants this job.
The abuse we put through these ESCs through, and what we're demanding, I mean, for the power we're trying to run through them is just. I don't know how you guys can do it, but get it done, dude.
We're trying. We're trying.
Yeah. Oh man, we're trying so hard.
David Garcia says, transmitter functions, throttle speed important. What's your go-to throttle speed, such as 3-point setting on Futaba 7PXR? Does it change throughout your race day or set it and forget it? Love the show, new to the sport and listen regularly. Working backwards on 107 right now on my way to work.
I think it really depends on which speed control you're running. Like personally, I used to use throttle speed, but I would only use the 2-step where I'd start at like 80% for 30% of the trigger pull, and then brings in 100 just to soften up the first few feet. But that was before tire preps too. So after I started prepping tires, I'm leaving on 100% of the radio. And I'm doing everything through the ESC. Same with Lindsay's car. We're doing nothing through the radios right now.
Yeah. I mean, to run that kind of mile an hour, you can't be delaying too much. You got to run.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing good at leaving at 55.
Well, I'm not leaving at 100% of the ESC. We're leaving at 100% on the radio.
Oh.
The ESC with the hobby wing, I control it through drive frequency, and I can control it through throttle rate. So throttle rate is kind of like a slew, without the turbo. It's
but
kind
for
of like
the throttle
actual
itself.
slew.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then drive frequency, I'll use to fine tune once in a while. But yeah, the radio itself is always 100 for me.
The drive frequency is pulse width.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll talk off air about that one. I have questions.
That's all I'm going to say on the air.
Yeah, I have questions. Okay, you better give him a question because my mind's locked in now.
Okay. Well, you've already answered this one. Proline reaction tire, wide or narrow, foam or air? What steps for softening the tires and storage of your tires?
Dude.
You've already answered that one.
For storage, plastic bags.
Okay, here's a good one. What's the process for the trans brake on the 7PX that Frank uses?
Ooh, people notice that.
It's hard not to, the way you jump when that light turns green.
That's funny. The process is pretty simple. I use it's called engine cut in the radio, and basically all it does is cuts your throttle. I hold the button down, I pull the trigger, and then when the light's green, I let go of the button and keep it just like a real car. Hold the trans brake button, press the gas, let go of the button. Same exact, works the same way. So pretty simple. But you can't use it if you're using throttle speed and all that fun stuff. The function only works if you're leaving on 100% radio power.
Ah, I see.
Wow. Okay.
So if you're doing any radio magic, it will not work.
That
There's
makes
way
sense.
more tricks to this than most of us even realize.
Yeah.
It's funny because watching you in Wisconsin, you would actually jump like your hand would come off the radio almost while you're
No, it does.
punching.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, oh, he's using something like a trans brake on his radio.
Or he's shocking himself each time. One of the two.
It's what it looked like.
I'm used to the big cars where you just rip your thumb away as fast as you can. Your whole body. It's
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
It's funny because Chief had a discussion about that several episodes back. That
Did he?
Yeah, he was saying something about rolling your thumb off versus pulling it off would be faster.
I just rip it off.
Yeah. He agreed.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a good one that you're probably going to talk about for a little bit. Jermaine Furlow says, what type of gains are you seeing with the cowl cut out of the vet body?
I did some back-to-back testing a few weeks back. And that cowl in the vet hood was 100% designed just to clear like a slash shock tower.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's a diamond shape. So anybody that knows anything about Aero, it's not letting the air. If it was a straight cowl, if it was straight on both sides, it would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's a diamond shape, it's deflecting the air completely away from your windshield.
Yep.
So you're getting a little air over the roof, which is good, but it's all away from the windshield. And that windshield's really important for downforce. What I noticed in testing was that the car felt a little more stable from half track on, which I kind of expected.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't expect was it to pick up mile an hour. Back-to-back body testing with a stock body versus that body was consistently 1 mile an hour faster in 132 feet.
Wow.
So I really didn't expect that. I don't know if it was because maybe the car was more stuck and it was putting the power down, or the Aero was just better. I'm not really sure, but it was a little faster and more comfortable to drive.
Yeah, combo of the both, I'm sure.
one day I was just looking at one of my old 10th scale oval bodies, and it had a flat hood, and like from a side profile, it just looked like a doorstop, you know. And then you got the nice laid back window, and I started looking at the vet from the side, and I'm like, man, without this cowl, these would have like the exact same profile. And these oval cars used to run 70, 80 mile an hour on carpet, you know, and they were locked to the track, you know.
Right.
And I know Dale Epp put a lot of work in those THD oval bodies back in the day.
Yeah.
And I talked to Dale Epp like maybe last month for quite a while about body design, and he said the same thing, that vet hood was just put there for the slash shocks. So
Yep. That's what I've learned too.
So I decided to get rid of it, and I think it was a good choice. But I've heard a few rumors that Proline's coming out with another body, and it's not going to have that crazy hood on it. So
yeah, which means
hopefully I don't have to hack these hoods up anymore, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Tim, you and I are going to have to get a shorter shock tower for the new body coming.
Okay. No problem.
I probably just said too much, and I'll probably get kicked off the team for saying that, but
I don't think it's not a must. I mean, it's definitely not something you have to do. I mean, there's a lot of fast people there this weekend with stock vet bodies. It's just something.
But dude, it's
trying to push the limits of everything, you know.
But it's that one.
What it's all about.
But yeah, it's that pile of little things. You know that.
Oh,
it's you got to have that, because if you don't have, because maybe if you have that, you don't have two other things somebody else has. You know what I mean? Like you got to scrimp every little piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think I've ever made one change that's really made like a difference where I was like, oh my God, my car is fast now. Like, it's never that. It's always just little things that just continue to slowly add up.
Absolutely.
A bunch of little things.
Yeah.
So Chip Paccio says, Frank, are you setting a custom throttle curve in your ESC in addition to tuning with the radio?
Mm-mm.
I think you've probably already answered.
He is
most
not.
of that.
No.
He ain't doing it.
Mess with the throttle curves. I mean, I've thought about playing with it before, but running the hobby wing with the throttle rate and the drive frequency, that's been really good for me. I know I'm just so accustomed to it. I know exactly where things want to be, and I use the boost too, RPM based boost, to tune my punch of the car as well, you know. So I kind of don't try to get too complicated with the curves. I played with them a little bit, but it really wasn't necessary. Maybe with other ESCs, it might be more necessary. Or if you're just starting out with a new ESC, it might be a shortcut to kind of work the progression of the car a little easier than figuring out the speed control. But I don't know, man. I always prefer to do it in the ESC if I can.
You got to understand how the ESCs work to do that.
Absolutely.
What kind of RPM do you see like at the finish line?
Usually between 95 and 100,000.
Okay. Yeah, that's
kind of what I thought.
You're not bearing it in gear or anything like that either. So that's good.
What's that?
You're not really burying it in gear, so that's good.
No.
It's not like you're doing that, so. Fast motherfucker.
So Chris Schwartz says, what's it going to take to hit 85 miles per hour?
I think he already did
Not
it.
very much.
Yeah, I mean, what, like tomorrow?
I need this Apollo car for electronics to live in it for a weekend. Because we're right there with it. You know, if I can figure out how to get it to stop browning out on me, it's there now. Because like in Kentucky Friday night, it went 83, and I still had 20 degrees of boost to get to where my Aero car runs.
I can fix that problem for you.
Yeah.
The brownout problem. Yeah, we'll talk off air.
All right.
I could totally fix that issue for you. Yeah, I shouldn't, because God help us, but
oh God,
man,
don't help this guy anymore.
I want to see what he can do, though. I'm too interested in seeing how fast he can really go, and if I can wipe that problem away from him, oh my gosh. So, all right.
That'll be fun to watch.
What else you got for this guy? I feel bad because I know he doesn't feel great, and I don't want to wreck your voice. All right.
That is all the questions specifically.
Woo! So Frank, we talked about the Apollo. We talked about the reactions. We talked about your motor. What do you want to tell us about your car? We talked about your body. What do you want to tell us about No Prep?
Man, I like where it's going, man.
Yeah?
It's getting big, you know. I think I think as long as the rules don't get crazy and change significantly from where they are, I think.
Okay, there's a question for you, and there might have been one in there. If you were going to change a rule, I think I saw this. If you're going to change something or something like that, what would it be? Or if there's anything, like what would you change in our racing? Like you've seen how we do it. I mean, you've been to enough of them.
I don't know. It's really good. I mean, I think I don't think you got to waste the time teching wings because the bigger wings are slower, Anytime I put a small wing on the car, I go faster.
Yeah. That's
I think as long as I don't think you need to bust out the level and all that shit. I mean, as long as it kind of looks like proportionate, if someone wants to run an 1.5-inch wing, let them. They're just slowing themselves down. Right. The last 3 races, I've ran a wing with side dams on it that were like 3/8 of an inch tall, and my shit's been dialed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's way more to it than just the height of your wing. So.
Yeah, we talked a bit about that earlier in the show before he came on. The same kind of thing, talking about wings. Like, I'm over it. Like, I don't really care about it. I think it's, as long as it looks, the car doesn't look really stupid.
I think the weight rule is a good one. I mean, you need a weight rule. Yeah. You really don't need one because these cars don't work if you get them too light. But it's good to have it there because somebody that's very innovative would make a light car work and be very fast.
And that was the whole reason for it, just to put some minimum on it.
Yeah.
I mean, just
that's a good one. The minimum voltage is a must,
Yeah.
Safety, number 1.
Maximum voltage?
Yeah, maximum voltage, yep. That's important.
Yeah. So
I think we got a good rule set, man. I don't think there's anything I would change,
Yeah, just race.
Exactly. I mean, everyone's really the pack's so close now.
Well, and I'll tell you the one thing I like too.
Anytime you got a field full of close racers like that, you did a good job with the rules.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Exactly.
I'll tell you the thing that gets me too is that we never really defined the racing. It's 132 feet, but the surface and whether you use a light or don't use a light or a timing system or what that's all just been whatever you can do in your place to race.
I like that. It adds
and
a
I
little
do.
To it.
Yeah, every race you've gone to, there's always a little different to it. And like you said, guess what? The fast guys are still finding their way to the end of it.
Exactly.
Don't they?
I mean, whether the track's got 8-foot lanes or 20-foot lanes, like Tulsa, it don't matter. The fast guys are still going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
Whether it's a shit surface or a good surface, it don't matter. The fast guys are going to be there.
All that noise doesn't matter. Yeah, that's so true too. Yeah,
it doesn't at all.
So
the ones crying are the ones that.
So the racing's good.
Put in the work.
The racing's good. The rules are good. What else is there to do?
Now 13.5 is another story,
dude. Don't even start me on that.
Here's the deal with 13.5. Right now, it's an R1 motor spec class. If you guys ban the R1 motor and make it Roar motors,
it'll be another motor spec class.
It's just going to be a different motor.
Exactly. What difference does it make, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah, R1, I look at it this way. If R1 was the first one to come out with the fast one, well, then they won the prize for a while until someone else comes out with it. So that's how it works. It's racing. Enjoy.
I think once the class gets down to like 2 O's or something, then it's time to start talking about maybe 17.5 instead of 13.5.
Yeah. I know.
Once they start going faster than me, I think I'll be the bar. I'll be the bar.
You and me.
Dude, there was a
gatekeeper
13.5 that went 228 in Kentucky at almost 56 mile an hour.
What an asshole.
Couldn't back it up, but there's a lot of fast 13.5s, man. There's a bunch going like 2.3s, 2.4s.
So did these 13.5 cars, did they have headlights and exhaust and blowers sticking out and parachutes in the back?
That's gone out the window.
You know what? I think they had like the spoilers that come with the kits.
Yeah. Because,
like technically that's scale, right?
Everybody wants to bitch about, the rules. We got to change it to 13.5. Look, you guys aren't even following the rules that are there. You're supposed to put all this crap on there and then draw whoever has the most crap gets the buy. And there's all these things you're supposed to be doing. Nobody's doing that. It's racing.
Nobody cares.
Of course not. It's racing.
TRC would have been just fine if it was only outlaw the whole time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. One class.
13.5 was a cool idea, but I don't think it would have changed much if it was just outlaw. You'd still have just as many racers.
It'd be more focused.
Class.
Yeah, I know.
We need something to get people into the whole no prep thing.
I agree.
But
you know how that always goes, though. Like I always say that you need a class for beginners and kids. Like 13.5 should have been that class, in my opinion.
Right.
But I mean, I know a lot of people, and I know, Tim, you don't quite agree with that. You think that's like racers, racing outlaws should be able to race that, and it should be able to get more scale, right? Not so much a beginner class, just more.
Oh no, I think it should be a beginner class. Absolutely. I don't think Mark Vine should be running in that class.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
My
I kind of feel the same way.
I mean, if that's what the class is for.
My whole idea, and it stems from off-road as well. Change the name of the classes. Change it to beginner or rookie.
I mean, there's one way to fix that at a big race. If you run outlaw, you're not allowed to run 13.5.
Right. Exactly.
At a big race, that'll work because you've got the amount of entries needed for that.
Right. But they're not going to want to do it because they're losing money.
On a local or club level, that won't work because there's not enough racers.
No, but change the names. You don't even need to change the rules of the class. Yeah. Just change the name. These guys that run outlaw and think they're the big shit, they're not going to run rookie or beginner.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there.
It's too much of an ego hit.
Change it to 13.5 rookie or something.
I mean, I prefer races that only run outlaw anyways. Like that alone.
Yeah,
that's more fun.
There should be only one class at the big one.
Back in the day when I ran oval, there was 2 classes when I first started. There was 6L stock and 6L modified.
Yeah.
And you start in 6L stock, okay?
Yep.
And then once you think you got your shit together enough in that, then you bump up to modified. Once you're in modified, you don't even want to fuck around with the slower class.
No.
I mean, you're a modified rate. You're a factory racer now.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you running stock?
I'm old school. I run modified everything.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
Kind of how I am. I mean, you aspire to be in the fastest class and do the best you can in the fastest class. You shouldn't. I have zero interest in 13.5.
No, I've never entered the class ever.
Put together a 13.5 for Lindsay, and it was stupid fast. And then she ran outlaw one time, and then she didn't even want her to run it. So I got this badass 13.5 car sitting on the shelf all summer long. So
yeah.
I built a killer yellow Vega because I wanted to put headlights on it. That was the only reason I never ran the car.
Look awesome.
I never even ran
badass.
It. It's sad.
But I mean, it's a great class. I mean, I don't mean to knock the class, but it should be left alone for new people. And
I agree.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be ruined by people like myself.
None of us should be running that class.
Agreed.
Definitely.
I agree.
Definitely.
All right. So
if you're a competitive outlaw racer, stay the hell out of 13.5.
There it is.
Yeah.
Frank just told you, so knock it off.
There it is.
It's over.
Matt Bingham says, do you go all out on your first round in a race if there's a buyback? I'm loving the big race experience. Would love to hear Frank's, Tim's, and Colin's tournament strategy. Thank you. Love the show.
It depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I want to take a chance and go out there and just fucking lay something down to prove a point, I'll go do it. But if I feel like the car maybe needs some work or something, then I'll usually just play it safe, But Wisconsin, for I think one of the first rounds I had a buy run, and I said, oh, fuck it, let's add a little turbo to it and see what it'll do. It went to 191. That was the fastest ETA of the event. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I kind of did the same thing in Ohio when I was there last month. I laid down a pretty fast number right off the trailer and then kind of backed it down after that. And then in Kentucky here, I went 181 in the first round with the Aero card to see what it would take because I didn't get much testing in with it. So, yeah, I usually do. Like, if there's a buyback, I'll throw something stupid at the car and see if it takes it. And, like, 9 out of 10 times it takes it, so I can see where the track's at. So if the track changes, which was good in Kentucky because the track was still cool a little bit for the first round, so I was able to throw a decent number down. And once it warmed up, like I backed it off a little bit, but I knew what I had going into the night. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I knew once the track cooled back off a little bit, I knew how fast I could go. Yeah. So I had a lot of confidence in the car, and that's nice to have.
Do you also put that out there as a shot across the bow, or is that for your own personal info?
No, it's kind of like, hey, here's what we got. And if, keep up.
Yeah, if I need to do it, this is what I can give you.
You better lay it down.
Nice.
I'll play the mind games a little bit once in a while.
Love it.
I like it.
Love it.
It's drag racing, man. That's what it's all about.
It is, dude.
It's fun. Part of the fun.
Well, dude, I want to hang anymore. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us for a little bit. So
always a good time.
I'm sure you have somebody you want to talk about, so please talk away.
Man. I was having some motor trouble a couple weeks ago. I called Paul Lemieux, and he got me right dialed in. He hooked me up, man. All my sponsors are so good to me. Like Dustin at 5'7", always there for whatever I need with cars, you know. Like I said, Paul with motors, even Charlie at Hobby Wing, man. If I burn up so much shit just because I want to try stupid stuff, and he's like, "Go ahead, try it," you know. We'll get you some more out, you know. It's so nice to have that in your back pocket to be able to test stuff and not have to worry about spending a fortune on all this stuff. You know,
Right.
it's so much easier to push the envelope. You know, I mean, it's just everybody that helps me out. ProTech with batteries, you know, it's like my batteries are falling out. You know, Chad, he's like, "Oh, I'll get you the best stuff we can." You know, they're all so good and accommodating. You know, it's awesome. You know, Art at RC Speed Secrets. You know, the bearings, his bearings are just insanely good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just awesome. You know, and Kelly with Bug Guts and Jay Conway Gremlin Goo. I mean, they're all awesome people, man, and I really believe in their products, and they help me, and I hope I help them a little bit with making their products look good and helping them with sales. You know, I mean, I don't run these products because I get them for free. I run them because I believe in them. So,
All right.
Well, the numbers don't lie.
Nope.
yeah,
So
Yeah, you make them look really, really good too. So
that's good.
All right, everybody. The one and only, the class wrecker, Frank Ulbrich. We'll be right back after these words. Thank you, Frank, so much.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you, Frank.
anytime.
my car. It's a love affair. Mainly Jesus and my hot rod.
Yeah, fuck it.
And we're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay.
If people only knew how long these shows actually took, and then what they're cut down to.
Man. So Frank Ulbrich, great dude. You guys don't even know what's coming, but we do. So on you. Oh my God, Colin! I just realized something. I can't tell you until off the air, but I just realized something. But remind me, I'll tell you when we're done. Oh my God,
right, well,
so awesome! You're gonna.
You
laugh.
didn't pee when I got the chance to pee during the break.
No, I've just been going 100% in. So I mean, we're over an hour in the show, so let's just let's get right to it. Unless you want to throw a question or two in there that we might have had left over.
There's a bunch, but
How
far do you want to get into this?
We never get to them. I mean, give me whatever one you want. I'll do one good one if you want, and then I'll do the featured item of the week, and then we're gonna get out of here. That should be enough.
All right. Max amps, brick, battery maintenance, and upkeep. How often do you cycle them when you're not out testing? At what amps do you charge and discharge? By Rob Wallace.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for the question. Any more, other than honestly the last couple of weeks, I'm testing every single weekend. So, but what I do is on either Thursday night or Friday, when I get home from work about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, somewhere in there, I will cycle the packs once to twice on Thursday, once, twice on Friday, and then go into the weekend and do my business just to, I don't know, get some exercised up a little bit. For me, I charge them at 14 amps, and that's only because that's what this charger I have is limited at, this high-tech one I have. I might charge more, but I'm happy with 14. And then I discharge at 35. I have one of those those auto discharging block thingies, you can buy for $70 or something like that. They're really cool and convenient, and they take the batteries down nice and smooth. So I'll do that.
I used to.
Yeah, I don't know who makes that thing. It's one of those offshore manufacturers, I think.
G-Force.
Is it a G-Force thing? Yeah.
Yep,
so
available through Hobby Square.
Oh, okay. It matches my my cool ass high tech charger, but yeah. So that's what I do. I do them a couple times before. But if I'm not going to race for a while, like a lot of you guys going to go into winter right now, I would suggest once a month, pull them out one weekend, come out, take them, cycle them up and down once or twice, even put them back into storage mode, and then leave them again for another month. And you should be golden. By the time winter's over with, you should have packs that are still exactly the way they were, ready to go and do their business. The killer for battery packs, I mean, below, obviously outside of pulling too many amps out of a pack that's not capable or any of those kinds of things, the worst thing you can do is leave a pack sitting around. LiPo batteries, I try to tell people this analogy. LiPo batteries are like living on the second story of an apartment. They love living in that apartment. They don't want to be down on the floor of it, and they don't want to be up in the ceiling of it. They want to be right in the middle of that apartment, just kind of floating around doing their thing. And so when you take them outside of there, you charge them too high, you take them down too low, or you leave them in the apartment too long, just not doing anything, and they get all fat and shitty. So it's like people. Like me. Yeah, it's just like people. You leave us in the apartment too long, we're gonna get chubby. We're gonna swell up. So you got to keep them exercised. You got to take them out, move them around, keep them in the place they like, but let them move around once in a while too. So once a month is a pretty fair bet. I had a couple of 2-cell packs for some years, I'm telling you, that I was religiously doing them one cycle per month, and then keeping the data on them. A couple of 2-cell packs, Max Amp 6500s, and after 3 years, there was less than a 1% performance drop. 3-year-old batteries, but I just kept cycling them and, keeping them doing their thing. And so, I didn't abuse them and I took care of them. And, batteries are a thing, especially with these batteries now. I mean, you're spending $160 or something on a good race battery. It's an investment. It's no different than your speed control or your motor or whatever. And you'll oil your motor and put new bearings in it and clean it and do all this stuff. Man, you should be caring for your battery the same way. Treat it right and it will treat you right. It will get faster. Is what it will do, and it will go faster and stronger and more consistent. And I run one battery in my cars. I don't switch batteries around or anything because I get my batteries in good shape and I only need one. I could just recharge it all day long, and it does its business. So
They don't like to sit. That's the bottom line.
They do not. So
Got to keep them happy. It's a living organism almost.
it is a living something or other. Whoops, that's not on. It's time for the TSR Speech Up RC Podcast featured item of the week. I got to use the microphone at least once a show. The TSR Speech Up featured item of the week this week is the new Max Amps. It's a version 2 graphene brick pack. This pack now comes with the QS8 connectors, the big connectors I've been using. These things will pass 200 plus amps. They're awesome. It's coming with 8 gauge wire, big wire, but the wire is very soft and the jacket is pretty thin, so it doesn't seem like a big bulky hunk sticking out of the end of the battery. It almost looks like a 10 gauge, to be honest with you. Another big difference is because there's a whole bunch of cells in there, most cells just basically have a thin tin tab that comes out of the end of the cell bag, and they fold those over each other and they solder them together. That's how you make a battery pack. Pretty simple. Anybody who's cut one open has seen these. But these new batteries have 100% pure copper tabs that come out. They're 3 times as thick, and they're pure copper, so they pass more power. They can sustain more voltage under load than most normal batteries. So it is the new Max Amps No Prep Drag Race pack. And if you go today, I think today, or maybe not today, maybe soon, you can get yourself the TSR Special Edition pack that has added free swag. How's that? It is no extra cost to you. You just get extra shit with it. That's what that battery is all about. It's the same battery I run. That's really, you know what's happening in this world right now, Colin? And they don't even realize this. You're all going to get all the exact shit I run. That's what we're going to do for you. We're going to work out a way that we can give you everything. If I can tell you about it, that's one way. If I can get it to you in some way that you can just buy it and put it in your car, that's another way. So I'm already working the I can tell you what it is way, and Max Amps is coming along with the here, you can buy it now and put it in their way. So this is the exact battery I run. I've had this battery for several weeks now. I leaked a picture of the connectors a few weeks back because had been running those, and there's a difference. Like I'd said, it's not the big difference, but there's a difference, a little difference, and all the little differences continue to add up this hill of speed that I need to catch on guys like Frank, who are a year ahead of me right now on speed, it seems.
He's using 5mm bullets.
Ah, that guy. Yeah, but as soon as he went to big plugs, he's killing it. So he's in trouble. So yeah, go to Max Amps, check it out, get the new Outlaw No Prep drag pack. It's badass. Remember, when you go to Max Amps, you can get it custom wrapped. Just contact them, go on the website, talk to them. They will make it exactly how you want it. Not only that, but they make the battery that day for you. It's not like these are made sitting on a shelf or something like that. Colin comes up and says, hey, I want one of those batteries. Or Frank. And they pull the cells down, they solder it together, they put it all in a wrap that you pick and send it off to you. So it can't be fresher, it can't be better. You can buy cheaper, but you can't buy better. Max Apps, our featured item of the week. How's that?
Speaking of stuff that
all off the top of my head, pretty good.
All the stuff that you run, there's some big stuff coming.
It's crazy.
That's all I can say.
All right, let's get out of here, Colin.
Big stuff coming. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, 10 minutes before my bedtime. That's pretty good. We beat a little bit tonight. Man, I hope the whole show's there. You guys are gonna know by tomorrow.
Oh, God.
There's a slight chance. Well, you guys will know already. By the time you hear this, you already know.
During the break, Tim said to me, God, I think I might have messed up.
I don't know if we recorded all that or not with Frank.
I got it all.
We might have. We're going to find out, though. All right.
You might be back tomorrow night.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Frank, are you busy tomorrow night?
Oh, Mija, stop, Mija, stop. Okay. All right. Thank you, Colin, again, for another exciting TSR Speech Up RC podcast.
Frank.
Thank you, Frank Ulbrik, for coming on. Thank you, Lindsay, for letting him come on, letting him have all his time to practice and become awesome, because it gives us all something to shoot for. God bless the Christie family. Get healthy, you fools. I miss you guys. I haven't seen you for like 2 weeks or something. It's too long for me. I can't take it.
100%.
We're hoping maybe I'm going to check in. I didn't want to check in on him early. I'm going to wait till Wednesday maybe, but I want to check in and be like, dude, what do you think of this weekend? What do you think? Think we can practice for like an hour? So, yeah. God bless you guys. I love y'all. Thank you to Max Amps, MKS Servos, McLaren Racing, Gropner USA, Cow RC, and of course all you awesome people that listen to this trash we put out. Love each other once in a while. Don't look for the hate, okay? Don't
More
look
love,
for the hate.
less hate.
Yeah.
More love.
Look for the love. Try to be better. We all want to be better, don't we? Let's all strive to be better. It's okay. It's okay to want to be better. And it's okay to want everybody else to be better too. It lifts us all up, brothers and sisters. All right. I love you all. We'll see you later. Bye.
Keep the rubber side down.
Inside me, lead me on my way. Oh Lord, live inside me, lead me on my way. Lead me home, lead me home. Oh Lord, in the darkness, lead me on my way. Oh Lord, in the darkness, lead me on my way. Lead me home, lead me home. Oh Lord, heaven's waiting, open up your door. Oh Lord, heaven's waiting, open up your door, lead me home.